Hey, happy Tuesday. It's 10:23 on my clock. And yesterday, after one of my several activations, I began writing. And this is something that I wrote. And I read it to myself yesterday, and I was like, wow, quite impressive. So, this is called Marriage in the 3D World. The three S's: self respect, self love, and self care. They say that marriage is hard work, but I ask these questions. Should it truly be hard work? Why is any relationship hard work? Why should any individual have to put in hard work to be in love, happy, or enjoy laughter with any person you'd see yourselves living with, or even a possibility being in your future? I'll answer according to my experience. Humans have been taught that being alone is sad, lonely, horrible, and even scary. Well, they're all wrong. We go out and mingle, get drunk, meet that one person that you are at first sight attracted to externally. Then it leads to sex, or it doesn't, but 10 out of 10 times it leads to sex. Therefore, it leads to that text or call whenever in need for sex, or what we call a booty call. Women today are at fault for allowing this to even occur. I myself am guilty. You see, we're more powerful than what we know, and we should have standards, self-love, self-respect, and the will and the heart to want more and never settle. We tend to throw ourselves to people or men, because I'm speaking for the divine feminine, to feel that comfort, that want. We need to always feel desired and pampered, and therefore we seek that stability for money, to live a lavish life, and we get caught up in the mix of it. And 10%, it'll lead to marriage or just long-term relationship. As the years go by, some of us have kids, lose ourselves because we've gained weight or we're uncomfortable with our body. And we don't feel sexy anymore. We have expectations of how we're supposed to look because of celebrities, because of models, because of social media icons. Part 2. Marriage, relationships in the 3D world, lacking the three S's: self-love, self-respect, and self-care. And we left off talking about how after we have children, or when we get into relationships, we're so comfortable and so happy, we go out whining and dining, we gain some weight, our bodies don't look the same after kids, we feel a certain way. Because we see how our men look at other women out there, we don't look like that. Or they're liking other women's social medias who do not look like that, who don't look like us, who look hot as fuck, right? So we lack that. We feel a certain way. We get closed off. We put walls up. And that's not how life should be with any love or any partnership. We end up being love bombed all the time, but actions speak louder than words. The passion dies down, and then both partners feel comfortable in the situation. One does this thing and the other, meaning the man goes somewhere else, works on himself, starts looking good, eating good, going to the gym, hanging out with new people, meeting both men and women. And us women stay home, taking care of the kids, focus on our chores, focus on our job, focus on what we're supposed to be doing, right? And we lack that self-love, and we forget about ourselves in our entirety. So 50% of those men in these circumstances go to the gym, meet new people, hang out with women and men, they start going out. But they're so focused on the external part, on eating healthy, on looking good, and they still lack the three S's: the self-love, the self-respect, and the self-care, because they're focused on the without and not the within, right? So the entire relationship in marriage begins to stay stagnant. Same different day. This is how we settle, because we have kids, we can't get divorced because their hearts care first. Their hearts matter first, right? Absolutely not. From my experience, this is where society is so wrong. I did that. I stayed with a very unfaithful man because I had kids, because I was young, vulnerable. He was 9 years older than I. He took advantage of that. His mom told me that women shouldn't give their men up for other women, that they should fight, and they should fight for their family, and that everybody deserves second chances. This is coming from Latin standpoint. This is how us Latins think. Or of marriage and relationships in the 3D, lacking the 3 S's: self-love, self-respect, and self-care. And we left off part 3 about feeling guilty for being lazy, because we're always meant to be productive. We're always supposed to do this and supposed to do that. And if you're being lazy by just resting and being still, to know that God is going to work through you, somebody's looking at you wrong. Like, why are you just sitting down when you have all these things that can be done? Because they say, do not leave what you can do today for tomorrow. Bullshit. We are not supposed to be 24/7 on the go. We're not. We're supposed to take 3 pauses a day at least to meditate, to breathe, to stretch, to exercise. The jobs give you only 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour for that. Other countries get 2 to 3 hours for lunch, to eat, to rest, to meditate, to nap, to run your errands, whatever you choose, but it's supposed to be for rest, okay? So with that being said, let's continue. So this is where self-respect falls into place. Women do not set boundaries. We always want what the others have. We tend to force things too quickly. All of our friends are getting married or having kids, and you're the lone star black sheep, caring what people would think. We would never get ourselves into this situation if we were taught all the above: self-love, self-respect, and self-care. We would never end up in narcissistic relationships or friendships. We would then be self-aware and know how to read all of the warning signs and not ignore our own intuition. God gave us brains and a GI system. They both work together. The brain is the logic thinking, the gut is the intuition. We need both parts in order to survive. We use those organs to make daily decisions. If you feel like calling somebody out of nowhere and you don't understand why, and then you ignore that you didn't call them, but that call comes to you with a loss, with bad news, with something horrible, horribly wrong, and then you're thinking, man, I felt it. I should have called them. And that's your intuition. And that comes from your gut instinct. Can't keep ranting because this is horrible. I talk too much. This is the Latina. I'm too spicy. This is where self-care comes. We've already accomplished the first 2. Taking a moment to pause, sacrificing money to buy better, healthier, more organic meals. The time to put ourselves into the gym, invest into a trainer, or perhaps an app, and YouTube is free. Get yourself on track. Get your body healthy first. Take time to cook your meals. We call it meal prepping. Take time to work on your central nervous system by regulating, in order to regulate your hormone, anabolic, adrenal, lymphatic, and cardiac system. And that is done by being still. That is done by meditation. Taking the time away from going out, sacrificing that. From your own family, yeah, your own children too. We also get lazy with our hygiene or skincare, and if you just took 8 minutes out of the day, you have to wash your face anyways. Get that gua sha, get those oils, get those, the hyaluronic acid. Do your routine twice a day, because I'm gonna tell you this, it works. And if you do it with faith, it works, and you can reverse your age. My hair is all crazy, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. This is me, I'm a lioness. Let me keep going, stop talking, G. All right, so Just trust the process, the universe, and your inner goddess. You can wake up and realize that life has so much more to offer. The world is a huge oyster filled with all kinds and colors of oysters. But be that one rare oyster. Choose you. Choose God. Choose love from within. We have that one soulmate that he can be overseas, a childhood friend, but rest assured that eventually we will find and magnetize that true soulmate that God has for you written in the stars when you complete your work and when you complete what your mission is here on earth. But once we fall totally in love with ourselves, changing our old ways and our mindset, rest assured that the universe has love for you, just a phone call away. So my conclusion to this theory is that women, we need to put ourselves first. You're chasing love the wrong way. You're chasing the wrong love the wrong way. You see, if you have the faith that you have and you believe in your true soulmate, why settle? Why can't you be alone? Why can't you travel? Because you work so much, you work so hard. Why can't you take the time to yourself, get to know yourself intimately in every single part of your body, and even make love to yourself? How do you know what your spots are? A lot of you women cannot even climax through the G-spot. You need the external stimulation, and that is lack of self-discovery. And I have mastered that a long time ago. Long time ago. My body can do magic. I don't even need to do any of that. I could just use my pulsate and Kegels, and I can get myself there. Rest assured, I have never had any issues with that. However, this spiritual awakening has brought me to celibacy, and it made me stronger, it made me wiser, and it made me truly respect myself. And Spirit woke me up and told me, listen, this person, he's not your soulmate. You loved him, you married him, but it's time to go. It's time to part ways. Therefore, it made me want to hold off on that. I couldn't give myself up because it wasn't for that person. Life is so much more. There's so many things that you need to discover about yourself. Hidden things. Ask your ancestors. Ask your guides to help you. But I'm going to tell you this. Take a pause. Write down something in your journal, even on a piece of paper. Reflect on your past relationships and how hard you chased men and chased relationships. If you know you're a magnet, why chase? You're going to magnetize that person. You're with your special person, but you're seeking somebody else. Why? Men do the same thing. But I'm speaking for the divine feminine. And I'm not saying that I have been searching during my marriage. I have been nothing but true. Trying to work on everything, trying to understand everything. But this is it for me. It's time to part ways, and I love him still, and I respect him. But this is our time. We outgrew each other. I'm spiritual, I'm one way. He's focused on his exterior. I'm focused on my interior, and I'm focused on God, and I want more. I don't want to stay here. I want to travel. I don't want to go to Texas. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Africa. I am not of this world, I am in it. And Gianna was born in it, in flesh. And Spirit chose Gianna to do the things that she is doing today, to speak her truth. I hold ancestral vaults, and this is why I am speaking for the divine feminine. I'm speaking on sexuality, not being a hoe, not settling for booty calls, but being by yourself, loving yourself, making love to yourself, touching your heart, just looking at yourself in the mirror and adoring yourself, falling in love with yourself without having an ego, wanting to be healthy, wanting to look healthy. We need to stop staying stagnant. We need to want more. And we need to ask God to guide us every single day. You can have the finer things in life, but you can also be good to the world and brighten up your frequency and anchor that frequency wherever you are so you can magnetize that to others. I was placed in this city, which is a city, but it's also kind of country, to anchor my energy to everyone. And my spouse, who I'm separated with currently, he's changing. He's so much not focused internally right now. He's focused on the external. But when I leave, his gifts, his spirit will open up. And rest assured that he will want to take the time to meditate, to take the time to truly seek the real God, not the God of the Bible, the God of law, because we have free will. Just because you are a different blood type and just because you are from this world doesn't mean that you cannot experience what the meek can experience. Because so many collectives, so many chosen ones are still sleeping and they're still stuck in their hell. They're still stuck in their own underworld. I have friends who are reappearing on my social media that I didn't even know were even following me. That's magnetism. I am telling you now. Stop settling. Who cares what people think about you? Who cares if you're 45? I'm going to be 46 and divorced a second time. Do you think I care? Absolutely not. I thank him for all the things that he's done for me. But I don't owe him anything. I have gratitude, but I don't owe him anything. You don't owe anybody anything. You owe yourself an apology. You owe your spirit an apology for settling and for treating your body the way you have been treating it through alcohol and food and gaining weight or being too skinny or suffering from body shaming and you become bulimic or anemic or whatever it is. But I don't do the things that I do because I'm 100% human. I am out of this world. And that's a literal statement. This is my conclusion. I love you. Most High loves you. We love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed Tuesday.